Okay, I was on the phone with somebody and I was talking, and I feel like this video is worthy to be seen. You know, I'm seeing these younger generations, these 20s, these 30s, 40s, 50 people saying, hey, you know what, we gonna sit this out. We gonna sit this out. We gonna sit it out. We not finna go out here and protest and all of that and we finna do all of this. See, I'm almost 60. And I'm gonna say this. Now, this is a question that I wanna know. And I get it. I get it that you don't want to go out and protest because we don't want to get shot and killed and all of that and you don't want to be hurt. But here's where I don't understand. What have you done? I don't see none of y'all protesting. And I get that because you sitting it out, you ain't never protest. See, our forefathers, our uncles and our daddies and our granddaddies, see, they went out and protest. They went out and fought. They went out and died. They went out and sacrificed their lives just so we can have what we have now. That comfort zone that I was telling everybody about. You know, you remember, the Title VII and all these other things that we kept saying, everybody kept saying, you young generation saying, well, we don't need it now. Well, it didn't matter. Yeah, some of y'all said that. Some of y'all said it. Yeah, you did. Now, if you can't go and you don't want to protest, and I get it, then why don't you do this? And this is for all you folks who are sitting on the sideline. Won't you go ask them folks to help vote? Won't you start talking about how important voting is? Because, see, for the last 6 years, I've heard black folks talk about how it don't matter if you vote or not. Things are not they're going to be the same for everybody. All politicians are the same. Well, it don't matter. My vote don't count. But it did. Because now you're in something that elected officials, as we speak, are terminating your rights. They're terminating benefits and all of this other stuff. And you said, well, Samantha, I'm not on food stamps. Yeah, but if you lose your job, you're going to have to find somewhere to eat. See, people weren't thinking about that. When he was cutting the jobs and he was making America great again, we kept asking, what America was he making great again? Well, apparently it's not blacks. It's not Latinos or Hispanics. Oh, another thing, you Latinos thought y'all had it. Y'all came over here, you Cubans and Puerto Ricans, really Cubans. You Cubans came over here and found out that you black too. Ain't that something? My granddaddy used to say, everybody want to be black till it's time to be black. That lady that sung that song, oh, she will vote for Donald Trump. Well, I wonder if she's singing that song now while her husband has been expedited quickly out of this country. See, now the midterm, the only thing that's holding us up right now is the court system and the midterm elections. That's the only thing that's really holding the glue of dictatorship and freedom and democracy at bay right now. Because they see that we're protesting, and that's good. But now they're waiting to see who's going to be elected until those seats that's up for election next year. See, they got it all planned out, see. If they're hoping and banking, they're still spewing all this propaganda. You got Marsha Blackburn of Tennessee that's sitting here saying how Trump is doing a good job and how Doge sold so much money. Now that her and Elon Musk has separated from the Trump administration, you don't hear her talking about that no more. You don't tell how Elon is a great person anymore. She's now focusing on Trump. In fact, she put a big old 1-800 number up for you to start getting rid of y'all, the Hispanics and the Cubans and all of that. That's amazing, ain't it? An elected official who's acting like a Gestapo Nazi. You know, I know my hair, babe. But see, that's the difference between me. My hair could be wild and crazy and all of that. And I'm not an elected official. And she got more frizz in her head than anybody else. She's a dumb blonde. Kissing butt. I wouldn't even want to get close to her breath. But you got to wonder now, what about them swing voters? See, now you hear people saying, even if you voted for him, you voted and got him in office, this is a chance now for you to redeem yourself. You farmers, you deportees, you families of deport, you ones that got papers, this is a good time now for you to sit and say, you know what? Ain't nobody asking you to come over to the Democratic side, but you gotta vote for your well-being, and not just your well-being, for somebody else. See, cause this last election, everybody voted for what's in it for them. You didn't think about the man next door, the elderly, the poor, the undocumented. The undocumented. You didn't think about those who getting stamps, SNAP, nothing like that. Because see, he was trying to cut fraud and waste. Well, I'm going to give you some good advice that I learned working in government. Somebody that's trying to cut out fraud, waste, and abuse is very, very impossible. You say, how can you sit here and say that? Because you got hackers that can come and hack the bank. You got hackers, you got scammers that can scam things. Anybody can scam. But the numbers are becoming few and few. You can't have a foolproof thing. You can't. You got people on your job that scamming. You got people on your job that stealing. They have found a way to steal. You got employees that's at jobs that have found a way to steal. Look at it. Companies every day report white-collar crime. People taking the company's checking account and stealing the money. You cannot stop that. That is, as long as there's a criminal mind act, somebody gonna do it. You can't do it. And you can't join the masses with a few people. Just because 4 or 5 are doing it, don't mean the 10 million has done it. I wish MAGA well. I really do. Because, you know, the worst thing in the world is to sit here and make a mistake. What's even worse is when you sit here and you know it's a mistake, but you don't want to open your eyes and see it. Get out and vote. Become a registered voter. If you're gonna fact check where you get your information, and most importantly is this right here. You can't stop folks from being deported. Because I guarantee you, right now, when all of this is over with, folks are still coming back. And you got companies, you got people here who are just like slavery. When they made slavery a law, you still have people that are going to fight to protect the Constitution. Ask yourself, is your representative doing something because you want it and doing it out of hate? Or are they doing it out of the Constitution? Put yourself in a situation because it's millions of people, thousands of people who apply for benefits who are natural born citizens, who have medical problems, can't get it. But they swore up and down that all these illegal immigrants are getting it. Come on now. Do you hate that bad that you gotta sit here and put a face with the way your life is miserable? Because I'm gonna tell you something. Miserable people need somebody to blame for their shitty life. And you black folks who sitting up here talking about you gonna sit things out, you gotta realize not one of y'all did a damn thing to get the comforts that you got. All of this came from our forefathers. You sitting it out, I get it. But that still don't mean just because you don't go to the parade don't mean that you don't need to get your butt up and start talking about voting, how important voting is, how important getting out and vote, and stop sitting up here talking about you on some kind of Democratic plantation. Ain't nobody asked you to join the Democratic Party, but we got to save our democracy. We got to save what little civil rights we have. The little ones. That's all I'm saying. Or better yet, you let this midterm election come and you still thinking the same way. I can tell you right now, it's game over for all of us.